If you're watching this video, you've probably already tasted this. Pringles. Its cylindrical packaging, recognizable around the world, has literally flooded the snack market since 1968. It's one of the biggest snack successes of the century. But what are the manufacturing secrets hidden within this mysterious cylinder? I'm sure you really don't know how they are made. Today, let's discover the massive Pringles manufacturing plant where every step transforms simple potatoes into a crispy and irresistible delight. Ready for your chips? You see this big steel drum? It all starts here. A giant mechanical arm plunges with force, ready to crush cubes of perfectly cooked potatoes. In just a few turns, these pieces transform into an ultra-fine puree, smooth as cream, not a lump in sight. It's this level of precision that ensures consistently perfect Pringles with every bite. And this is just the beginning. Before becoming puree, they first have to go through the slicing stage. The freshly peeled potatoes plunge first into a hot bath. A swift but essential passage. It tenderizes their flesh and blocks enzymes that could spoil the taste or color. Then onto an impressive machine, a cylinder spinning at high speed. Inside, an ultra-precise blade slices the potatoes in an instant. The slices are immediately cut again, transformed into regular little cubes, ready to join the transformation dance. Hold your saliva because there are still a few steps left. Now that the puree is perfectly smooth, it moves to the next stage, spreading. On a massive heated drum, it flattens into a uniform thin layer. As it rotates, the heat does its work, gently drying the puree, which becomes a flexible and light sheet. It is here that everything is played out. This delicate drying retains all the potato flavor while preparing the ideal material. Once cooled, these sheets are crushed into ultra-fine flakes. This is the secret of the crispness we all love in Pringles. The dried sheets, light as paper, are now ready for their final transformation. They slide towards a powerful grinder, where sharp blades reduce them to an ultra-fine powder, the renowned potato flakes. At first glance, they might be confused with cereals or fine sand, but in reality, these flakes are calibrated with jeweler's precision. It's this unique material, neither too fine nor too coarse, that gives Pringles their distinctive texture, setting them apart from traditional chips. This is the step where Pringles acquire their true taste. In a massive mixer, the flakes join a mix of ingredients, a bit of water, rice flour, cornstarch, and a few closely guarded production secrets. This mixture doesn't look like much at first glance, a slightly grainy dough, not very appetizing at this stage. And yet, it's this that will give that special texture, halfway between melt in the mouth and crispy. A dough calibrated to the gram so that every Pringle cracks with the same perfection under your teeth. The sheet of dough, now perfectly thin, continues its journey on the conveyor belt. It passes through an initial roller that spreads it with surgical regularity, ensuring the same thickness across its surface. Then comes the giant roller, 4 tons of pressure compressing the dough into an ultra-thin strip, only 1 millimeter thick. Everything is measured, very impressive. At this stage, it's hard to believe it's made of potatoes. One might almost mistake this flexible sheet for paper, but our Pringles' journey doesn't stop there. The transformation continues. The dough strip enters a massive cutting machine that slices, at a steady pace, perfectly regular and calibrated oval shapes. This is where Pringles finally take on their iconic silhouette. A little nod from the factory workers. These shapes have a nickname. They affectionately call them doyles. And what happens to the dough left between each shape? It is collected, redirected to the mixing system, and starts a new cycle. A smart and economical loop producing thousands of Pringles without losing a thing along the way. The thin sheet of dough, as thin as onion skin, slowly advances towards a rotary cutter. In the blink of an eye, it is sculpted into perfectly neat oval shapes, recognizable by all. The famous ovals then head to the fryer. But before plunging into boiling oil at 200 degree key, they are delicately placed into a curved mold, giving them that unique, slightly wavy shape. Just a few seconds of frying transform the dough into a golden, thin, and incredibly crispy chip. Then, a blast of hot air sweeps away the excess oil, leaving the Pringles ready, light, and perfectly browned for the final stretch. Your mouth? Not quite yet. The last step before packaging, flavoring. An endless line of Pringles passes again on a conveyor and is sprinkled with a flavoring powder that coats each Pringle without missing a single one. Cheese, paprika, sour cream. Each flavor finds its place, to the delight of aficionados. And thanks to their perfectly regular shape, Pringles stack effortlessly, ready to join their famous tube. Everything is in place for the final touch. Before joining their iconic tube, Pringles must still pass a series of rigorous quality checks. Any minor imperfection, the smallest crack or deformation, is spotted and rejected without hesitation. Experts keep a vigilant eye to ensure consistent quality, bite after bite. And finally, an ultimate test is conducted, in complete darkness. An almost secret final check, letting only the perfect chips pass. Those truly worthy of bearing the name Pringles. The Pringles are now ready, sliding one by one into their famous cylindrical tube. A slight movement aligns them perfectly, like a well-ordered stack. Each tube is then weighed with precision to ensure none is missing. Then comes the sealing. A hermetic seal closes the famous cylinder containing the legendary crispy chip. In just a few seconds, the tube is ready to leave the factory, headed to your coffee table. And there you have it. You now know everything about the manufacturing of the famous Pringles. But for us, this is just the beginning. If you love seeing how your favorite snacks are made, subscribe to YumProcess. The sequel promises to be even more thrilling.